Today, we're making something perfect for autumn. Pumpkin muffins. Imagine cozy spices, sweet pumpkin, and a hint of orange zest. Doesn't that sound amazing? This recipe is super simple and it will have your kitchen smelling like a fall festival. Let's start by looking at the tools we need. Okay guys, you washed your hands, got an apron on, found a place to work? Great, we're keeping it pretty simple today. All we need is mixing bowls, measuring cups or scales, whisk or a fork, spoons and spatula, muffin pan, and muffin liners or non-stick spray. That's it. Okay, ingredients, it's pretty straightforward. We've got 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. That's 220 grams. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and that's our pumpkin spice mix there. So it's 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ginger, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm not putting in the ground cloves this week. And we've also got our salt there as well. Half a cup of brown sugar. Make sure it's packed. That's 100 grams. We've got 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 50 grams. Half a cup of butter, which we'll melt. It works out to 1 stick in America or 120 grams in the UK. 2 large eggs. 1 cup of canned pumpkin puree, not the pumpkin pie filling. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm also going to add zest of 1 orange and 1/4 cup of cranberries. Great, let's get cracking. First things first, we'll need to turn the oven on so it can warm up while we're getting the mixture together. So it needs to be at 180 degrees Celsius, which is about 350 Fahrenheit. I'm also going to get my butter melting. Now you might want to ask a grown-up to help with this bit. While that's melting, we can start by mixing some of our dry ingredients. It's not all of them, so we're going to leave the sugar to one side for a moment. We'll put the flour into a large bowl, and we're going to add the baking powder, baking soda, and our spice blend and salt. So all that's going to go into there. Then we're going to give that a little bit of a whisk. So the reason we do this is so that those spices are evenly distributed throughout the whole mixture, and also gets rid of any little lumps of flour that might still be there. That's that. Put that to one side, and then we're going to work on our wet ingredients. So first thing, it's not really wet, but first thing is we're going to do the sugar. Can go in there, the brown sugar and the white sugar. And then we're going to add the orange zest into that sugar. Now, you might need help with zesting an orange if you've not done it before. You could use a grater. This is what's called a microplane, and it's very, very sharp. So get help with this one. But there are also things called zesters, which actually do it as well. So with orange zest, make sure that orange has been scrubbed with warm soapy water and then dried. And then I'm just going to pop that into our sugar. Great, that's smelling amazing. Then we want to mix this into the sugar. What that does is that releases all those oils in the peel of the orange, and they go into the sugar. Again, it's a bit like the spices in the flour. You get that flavor throughout the muffins. I always break my eggs first into a bowl, because in case any shell gets in there, and then you can take it out with the shell. Great, so those eggs can go into that sugar. And then it wants to have a jolly good mix. We can use the same whisk Now you can add the melted butter. And again, another mix. Then our pumpkin puree. Now, I actually made this pumpkin puree last week for the pumpkin pie I made. I'll put a link here if you need to make your own too. A splash of vanilla. Then we're going to slowly mix the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients. So that can go into this bigger bowl here. Oh, it's smelling amazing. And another mix. Try and get rid of all those lumps. Okay, brilliant. So that's there. You can see it's still a little lumpy. That's good. We don't want to overmix it because we take too much of the air out of it. So at this point, you can add any extra bits that you want to put in. I'm putting in some cranberries that are nice and seasonal. You could put nuts in, you could put chocolate chips in, whatever, it's up to you. I'm going to save a few of these back though to put on the top of each muffin. So leave those to one side. Gently mix those in. Brilliant. And then into the muffin tray. So we've got our lined tray here. This will probably take more than these 6, but let's start off with that. You can either use 2 spoons like this, or you could use an ice cream scoop. That works pretty well as well. Okay, these are going to go into our preheated oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. Don't forget to use an oven glove. While those are baking, let's have a bit of a tidy up. It's always good to keep things clean and tidy as you go. Okay, so just taking that second batch out of the oven, I'm going to leave those in the tin for 5 minutes and then transfer them over to the rack with the others. Oh, these look certainly good enough to eat, don't they? And they smell amazing. Oh, I think I might try that. What about that one there, that little guy? Ooh, look at that, all crumbly. Oh wow, I'm gonna definitely eat all of that. And there are a few left for other people to have as well. This recipe made about 10 muffins, which is great. You could try different variations, you know. You could try some cinnamon sugar on top, or even a bit of crumble mixture like we made the other week. Chocolate chips, look, I've put some chocolate in these ones. Let me know what you do in the comments. I'd just love to hear how it goes. So, if you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Next week, can you believe it? It's December already. And so I'm going to be making some homemade mince pies with homemade mince meat from scratch. I hope you join me and prepare for Christmas. There we go, guys. Pumpkin muffins from scratch. So easy. You'll impress your friends and family. Have a great week.